Wow. Pretty impressive winning up there. It got pretty fired up toward the end. Just Noah makes a huge play. Can you just talk about this team's propensity to play teams close and pull it out more often than not?
Yeah. Unique team, to say the least. Resilient team. We've said it all year. Consistent team. Really proud of these guys. I mean, really proud of these guys. Really tough environment the other day, even tougher environment tonight. I've been on the road for a while, seems like a month. You know, we came straight here from Winston-Salem. And I told Ross Bjork this after the game, who I've known for a long time. Their crowd, their environment, it was rocking. It was really loud. It was comparable to the top few SEC road environments that we competed in this year, and it was a factor. I mean, I thought it affected us offensively, especially in the second half. But our resiliency, our toughness, our willingness to want to continue to compete and keep fighting for one another was on full display, and just really proud of this group. NIT Final Four, very honored to get to Indianapolis, to be a part of this thing. It's really cool. Happy for our guys.
Curious as well about just Noah's play in general. Could you just talk about, I mean, 21 points, he had 12, I think it was 17, just continuing to be consistent, be that leading scorer for you guys.
He was terrific. Unflappable. As one of the more confident guys I've coached, you know, he can miss 8 in a row and thinks his next 8 are going in. And we're trying to infuse some of that into some of our younger guards. It's one of the things we can all learn from one another. It's something that we preach as a staff. It's one of the things that really all of his teammates can learn from him. He just he's a confident guy, and you know, if it's under a minute or if it's the first minute of the game, he's the same guy offensively with the ball in his hands. We were struggling with execution. I looked down, we had 79. It's hard to believe that because of their physicality, their attention to detail with defending our actions. Struggled with some ball screen stuff, struggled with some live ball turnovers. And so, you know, late in the game, Noah Thomasson just playing in space. You know, let's make sure we get one up, and he hits another really big one, as he did in Winston-Salem. Played his butt off, and that's why he came to Georgia. He was hopeful, obviously, to help Georgia get into the NCAA tournament, but he's taken full advantage of helping us make an NIT run and something. He's creating life memories for himself, and he works hard. He deserves the success that he's getting. Huge shot for him late.
Go to Mike Griffith and then Palmer Toms.
Yeah, Mike, Blue Cane, career high 17, 2 really clutch free throws there, 8 rebounds as well. Just another one of these freshmen again. Can you comment on him? And then Frank hitting the double for you with Russ out. And by the way, have you commented on exactly what's wrong with Russ?
Yeah, Russ is sick. He was fighting something. I'm not sure exactly what. He coughed the whole plane ride to Winston-Salem. Just did not feel well. Felt a little bit better yesterday. Gave it a go in practice. Kind of sluggish and shoot around this morning, but he tried. You know, he tried it. I thought that he might give us a few minutes, and he did. You know, honestly, if Frank didn't play so well, you know, I'm not sure we don't throw Russ back out there, but Frank was playing so well and impacting the game. You know, 10 and 10, but flying around and altering and blocking and you know, 6 offensive rebounds, extra possessions, just that energy level. You know, our guys were feeding off of that. Frank is such an unselfish guy. He always answers the bell, you know, when or rings the bell rather, you know, when his name is called. And you mentioned Blue about as well as he's played. I mean, he was really good. He's a guy that's learned how hard you need to play at this level, you know, in the SEC and obviously ACC and now Big Ten. But to go grab, you know, the 8 rebounds, he wasn't doing that in November, you know, and so I'm proud of his progress, his development. He's become tougher and tougher. And then we know offensively he's got some Noah in him where he's a confident guy. He hasn't got a ton of attempts at the free throw line this year, so those were 2 big ones that he converted. You know, Silas competed, you know, defended at a really high level, fought a lot of pressure, drew some fouls, and then Dylan James hits a really timely one, coming off the last game where he hit 4 threes, hits another really big one right in front of our bench. So proud of those young guys, but great team effort overall.
Mike, what is it that's allowing this team to play its best basketball at season's end? And is this kind of how you envisioned it when you drew this team up last year?
It's different. We've won different games with different guys. And, it's such a unique team. I mean, we're out there. Russ barely produced for us. He's fighting illness. Jabri doesn't play. He's banged up, and Sonny doesn't play. He's banged. I mean, those three guys in November were, three of our best few players. I mean, those guys were all pegged to start. I just think it's a collection of guys that have character on the court and off the court, and want to compete, like each other, just taking advantage, playing a little bit more loose now. Nothing to lose. We're in the NIT. Let's have some fun. That might be a factor too, especially for these young guys. But yeah, it's coming together a little bit. I mean, we're playing our best basketball, and the one comment I've made 100 times, you guys are sick of hearing is what a good practice team this is. It's probably another factor. It's just we've just gotten a little bit better incrementally, individually, and collectively throughout the whole year. And got a bunch of contributions tonight from guys that are just better versions of themselves than they were, in November and December.
And then with Mike, we'll finish with Jordan and then Dash.
Mike, just what does this next week look like? You guys get a little bit more time before you're back on the court. Just what is that going to look like getting ready for the semifinals?
Oh my goodness, I hadn't even thought about it. I couldn't tell you what day we play when we're traveling. I know I'm anxious to get home, regroup. It's a really, really busy time of year too, for obvious reasons, in terms of phone traffic, and also studying young people on synergy, and watching film. So balancing the recruiting and balancing this team. Rest assured, though, we're going to have a bunch of focus, as much as humanly possibly, to help these young men finish as strong as we can possibly finish, because this is a big deal for us in terms of rebuilding this program. So we'll balance it best we can. We get home really late tonight. We'll get in that office tomorrow, and as a staff, we'll plot as to how we balance these things.
Mike, I kind of want to follow up on that. You mentioned this, being a big deal. Second year of your program. This is also your 20th win. I know that's kind of a little mark, I guess, if you want to call it that. But to make the semifinals of the NIT your second year, I know you would rather have been the NCAA, but to make it where you are right now, how big of a deal is this really for you?
No, it's really big. We don't take it lightly, and we were picked. We were picked near the bottom. We all know that, right? But we had higher expectations and standards within our program, and if we finished a few of those, we potentially would be in the other tournament. But I love the character that our guys are showing, playing with gratitude, playing with appreciation. Hey, you guys, thanks for the opportunity. We're gonna take full advantage. That's huge. It's really big. To get to 20s, really big, of course. But that said, if we were picked near the top of the league, and we got one of these automatics to the NIT and made the same run, it would still be an honor, to play in this event and to get to Indianapolis.
Hey, Mike, if I could just ask a quick question. I had power that went out here, so I missed the beginning of this with the Storms. I want to ask you to win 3 games like you have to get to the semifinals. What does it mean to make winning plays like you have down the stretch of these games?
Huge, man. I don't know if you all the offensive things that we tried to execute tonight. I don't know how many you can just point to and say, but we did a great job with that. Defensively, we tried to mix in a couple different zones. Sometimes it was productive. Sometimes it backfired. We had a couple miscues in transition defense and ball screen defense, which led to lob dunks. But when you're playing as hard as these guys are playing right now, and you're getting the amount of 50-50 balls we're getting and extra possessions and flying around and playing for one another, you can overcome some of that stuff, some of your B and C play, because in terms of effort, we were an A. We were an A tonight. Great effort.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, guys, we've got